Hello, people. Anyone who's watching. In the comments, I only see Miles Davis, and on screen with me is Ashwin Kalmane, as usual. We're going to talk about Star Wars. Like the original agreement was about Star Wars, but Ashwin beach mein repeat kar gaya, and he said we're only going to talk about Mandalorian. So we are
Yes,
here to talk about Mandalorian
only
because that's the last thing he remembers watching. And I watched Mandalorian some time ago, so my memories of it are a
हाँ,
little hazy. Like I think I watched it a year ago.
1 year ago. ठीक है.
When did you watch it?
Same, almost the same time.
Okay, okay.
So it's quite
So
possible this will be a 2 minute conversation that gets over because we can't remember anything.
two old people. Hey, what was that thing we were supposed to be talking about? Ah, yeah. I don't actually remember anything. Okay, bye. But they did actually turn it around in quite a nice way because I initially my plan was to talk about how people used to like everyone loves the original movies.
Hmm.
Many people dislike the prequels, and
Yeah.
almost everyone, including the people who like the prequels, like
Huh.
me, I like the
Huh.
prequels,
Huh.
dislike the new Disney movies.
So I
So,
like the first Disney movie, the very
okay,
first one
which
that came out.
one? The
The
Force
the
Awakens.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a nice setup for the next two movies.
And
But
then
I
they messed
remember
it
the
up.
second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of
So
callback to the old Star Wars and all of that. They did a lot of
it was the
that.
same movie. It was
Yeah, it was
literally
the
the same
same,
movie.
but nobody
They
cared
didn't.
at that time.
Nobody cared, and they actually they knew the kind of audiences they were catering to. They knew that the new people will be dragged to the theaters by the old fans,
Right.
and the old fans will be like, "Oh God, this is exactly what I wanted." So they didn't really bother with anything new, and then it
Yeah,
suffered because of that. I think
could be. Yeah, could be.
because I really like the fact that, and spoilers here again, guys, but I
Mm.
really like the fact that they left Ray's origin to open.
Huh.
Like she did not have to be related by blood to any of the old heroes. She could be
Right.
anyone because the Force does not discriminate. And I think that
Correct.
was a great idea. But then
Huh.
they did not do it. They didn't go down that path. And by the end, they had gone down a path which, like, still makes me feel weird. Like Palpatine ke direction में चले गए थे.
So just to tell you, I haven't watched the third movie
I don't think you should.
yet.
It's
It's
terrible.
been so many years and I still haven't watched it, so it's fine. I don't.
Yeah. So we have some comments, and these have to do with like Miles Davis says, "Can Star Wars happen in real? What do you think, sir?" Star Wars is a huge franchise. उसके अंदर बहुत कुछ है. What are you talking about? Are you talking about is it possible for a galaxy to exist where all these things happen? So I don't know. So,
I don't think so. All this seems a little too much. Uh,
yeah, like
yeah,
you are of the opinion that Star Wars is science fantasy, by the way.
science fantasy, yes,
Okay,
definitely
okay.
science fantasy
Someone
because
says
it has
Disney
all this.
ruined Han Solo for me.
Acha,
What?
the
What? What? What
hand,
were you saying?
so this whole the force thing, it's all about magic and
Yeah.
it's being controlled by supernatural things. So I don't think that's science.
Huh. So the thing about Star Wars is that the things that they describe as the Force, etc., uh, these are all inspired by what we sometimes think of reality as being. Like the Force is a religious idea,
Correct.
and I have in a previous episode spoken about how I used to be like I still am a huge Star Trek fan, but I think Star Trek films pale in comparison to the Star Wars films.
The
Star
original.
Wars No, in general also, like the Star Wars films,
Hmm.
most of them, even the old ones, are
Huh.
better than the Star Trek films. I will still choose to watch a Star Trek film, but that has to do with my
Hmm.
loyalties.
Hmm.
Qualitatively, the Star Wars films have more, uh, you know, uh,
Story.
story structure and all that. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So I love the world that the Star Trek universe is set in, but their movies leave much to be desired, including the
Okay.
Kelvin timeline. But yeah, so Manavendra says Robert Rodriguez directed Boba Fett. Would love to hear both of your opinions on this. Manavendra, Ashwin has not seen Boba Fett yet.
I
Boba
have
Fett
not
yet.
watched.
I
I
am.
usually wait for the whole series to get over to watch the episodes, which is just a matter of months. and
Just a
then I
matter of
forget about
months.
the series and don't watch
See,
it
this
anymore.
is like I can understand the TPB logic where comics issue आ रहा है पर मैं वेट करूंगा जब बाउंड कॉपी आएगा तब के लिए. It's
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's that.
Okay,
Because I
but you're
don't
not
want to wait
having
a
to.
whole. I don't want to wait a
It's not
whole
about
week for the
see
next
to
episode.
wait for TPBs. Do so
Ah,
because it's a money issue. You don't want to spend a lot of money
correct,
on individual issues. This is
correct.
just being lazy.
No,
Because
no, I don't want to wait that long. If I'm watching a series, I want to watch it in one go.
hmm.
Like in like 2 or 3 days, I want to finish the whole series.
Okay, cool, cool. So before we start talking about the Mandalorian, which Ashwin watched recently, I want to ask you guys one more thing. So Ashwin is a friend of mine, and we love talking about things of this nature. We were just asking each other if we should have these conversations on this channel every once in a while, or we should start a separate channel. We already have a separate channel. There were a few videos on it. If you go to the main page of this channel and scroll down, you'll see Ashwin and Vimoh talk. So the channel was called Gutter Space. It was supposed to be a pop culture, comic book, science fiction sort of podcast thing. So I was thinking whether we should do this on that channel or we should continue doing it on this. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, and we shall see what we can do. Aliens has started the conversation about Mandalorian season 3 premiere was very nice. Have I seen Mandalorian season 3?
Premiere?
Is there a season 3? I thought there were two
No,
seasons.
just 2 seasons. Three is
Yeah, two
coming
seasons.
sometime this year.
Ah, okay, okay.
Sometime,
So before that, you should probably watch Boba Fett because it ties into
of
Mandalorian,
course.
as I mentioned.
So somewhere I read online, I read a spoiler that said the guy from Mandalorian, he comes in the latest episode of Boba Fett. I don't
Ah,
know why I
yeah.
was reading this online. I just randomly read it.
Like you are the like my life is full of people who like to spoil films for themselves deliberately. Like I am right now on a stage where I'm running away from spoilers of all the things that I've not seen because the internet is hard to like on the internet is hard to not come by a spoiler, and most of my days spent on the internet because of work. But yeah. So what did you think of the Mandalorian?
I actually love the series. It's
Okay.
one of my all-time favorite shows.
Okay.
Yeah. What
What
about
are
you?
some of your other all-time favorite shows?
I like Buffy, the
The
Vampire
Vampire
Slayer,
Slayer?
which was
Okay.
20 years ago or something.
Okay.
What else do I like? Yeah, that's the kind of show I like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
सो मैंडलोरियन का मुझे जो याद है वो ये है कि दिस इज अ बाउंटी हंटर.
Huh.
I really love the religiosity of it. Like, you were under the impression that the Jedi Order is the definition of a religion in the Star Wars galaxy. But turns out there are other things. Like the Jedi are just one thing, and the way of life that these people from Mandalore follow is another thing. I really like that they really went into that.
Huh. That's one of the things that we talked about. That they showed in Mandalore. These
Okay.
guys cover their faces for like uh, forever, right?
Yeah.
That's similar to what Muslim women do. Like they have their faces covered all the time.
No,
So
it's a
they're
matter of
kind of
headgear, right? So it's also like the turbans of the Sikhs.
right.
Yeah.
But the turbans of the Sikhs are not that fixed as they are in case of the Muslim women,
Ah.
right? The Mandalorians, they can't ever take off their mask in front of anyone. They're not
Hmm.
supposed to take it off,
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
I wonder if there
Whereas,
is a social justice
huh,
brigade in the Star Wars universe, which is like free the Mandalorians.
they do. Uh, Somewhere in season two, I think they explain that this sect of Mandalore, it's a very small section
Hmm.
that keeps their faces covered, that they never expose their faces, and the
Okay.
rest of Mandalore is completely open and free, and they don't
Okay.
cover their faces. So
Hmm.
that's similar to what Muslim women have.
Okay.
Yeah,
And like this guy does take his helmet off frequently. So I think
towards the
the
end,
the the struggle, no, multiple times, like
second
I think
season, first season में
like
कभी नहीं निकलता वो
I wonder if it is. I wonder if it is like you cannot take your helmet off at all,
at all,
or
not
is
in
it
front of anyone.
that nobody can see your face?
Ha, correct.
Okay, so when he's alone, he must like.
हाँ, he wins.
करना पड़ा मुँह धोने के लिए या
हाँ,
कुछ और के लिए करना पड़ता होगा। ओके।
हाँ. So he does take it off, but it's never in front of anyone else.
Hmm.
And
And
I
they
like the
used
way, I like how so I forgot the comedian's name, but the guy who
Bill.
yeah, I forgot his name. I don't know why. It's at the tip of my tongue. It's always there. I know him. I know him so well, but it's just Bill Hicks, Bill Fingers. What, you looking it up?
Yeah.
Good. So
Mine's are
that guy,
green. Ah, you were saying?
Bill. What's his name?
That's what I'm opening. Can you see this?
I can't. Bill. No, he's not here.
Uh,
Go right.
Wait, let me scroll sideways.
Huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bill
This
Burr.
guy, Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill Burr mentions it. He says, "So you're not supposed to take off your helmet ever, or is it that you can take off your helmet sometimes and you can put on another helmet, or it keeps changing depending on how the situation changes." So
Hmm.
he questions him basically, saying,
Okay.
"What exactly is your belief?" And the Mandalorian doesn't have anything to say in return.
Yeah,
So that's
because it's
that's something
belief.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just
I
belief.
think
It has nothing to do.
Bill Burr was the atheist in this respect. ये क्या
Yeah,
धर्म का सब दुकान खोल रखा है हेलमेट नहीं खोल सकते अब पता नहीं क्या क्या करो लाइक ही मस्ट हैव बीन प्लेइंग मी और समथिंग
yeah. So that was nice. And towards the
hmm.
end of the second season, I think he takes off his helmet and he faces Luke Skywalker and he says, "Here, take this child and go away." So that
Yeah,
that
all
was
that
nice.
was like that's the next point I wanted to get to, which is they used this series
Hmm.
as a world building thing for Star Wars, right?
Huh.
Because most Star Wars stories are like there are characters and they go around and you see the galaxy with it.
Correct.
This guy goes to new places as well as old places, meets new
Correct.
people as well as old people who have been
Correct.
referenced in other movies and TV shows and stuff. So that
Huh.
was a very interesting use of this series,
So it
like Ahsoka and
huh.
what was the other one?
Jango Fett.
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. What was she mentioned?
Bo-Katan was mentioned in the animated thing,
Acha.
the Clone Wars. Clone Wars.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Huh. And also Jango Fett, Boba Fett, whatever, whoever, one of the Fetts.
Jango Fett, Boba Fett. Boba Fett, though,
Boba
huh,
Fett.
in the last
Boba
episode,
Fett.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Right. No,
He
not in the
got
last episode. It's he
right, right,
went
right.
he
Sorry, I'm comparing
mid.
Boba Fett with damn these Star Wars names. Boba Fett goes and kills Jabba the Hutt.
Right, sort of.
Right. Yeah.
Not
So I
Jabba the Hutt,
spoiled.
some other guy.
No, he took on Jabba's place, right?
It wasn't
That's
Jabba.
where that's where the Boba
Jabba
Fett
died
series is
somewhere
placed.
else, no?
Acha, so he kills
Jabba died
some other Fett. Acha, I don't
some
know.
other Fett. Huh.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So Boba Fett was one of the returning characters from
Hmm.
an existing this thing.
Wow. Today, Vikas says, "Wow, today Ashwin is not commenting but speaking." Ashwin never comments. He's never in the chat. This is another Ashwin.
Ah.
Manubeta says, I haven't seen much of Star Trek. According to Adam Savage, Star Wars is dystopia, whereas Star Trek is utopia. So symmetry plays a part in depicting the technology. What are your views on this? It's kind of off topic, but uh, I think the way I would describe it would be that Star Wars is more realistic in its use of social realities. Star Trek works under the assumption that if you have technology, everything will be all right, which is not the case, as we have seen. We have technology, and yet people are using that technology in very bad ways. I don't want to go into exact details because this is not that kind of an episode, but you know what I mean. Like we have
Correct.
technology, we have engineers and uh, app makers and people who can build security software. They're using it for terrible things. Technology alone will not solve things, and Star Wars is an example of a place where they have high technology
Hmm.
but it does nothing to solve the social problems, and social problems at the end of the day are solved by political action, which is
Hmm.
that they have rebels, they have a capitalist side, they have a imperial side, they have rebels, they have uh, plots to take over land, which which in this case is planets. There are commercial interests which take over planets or barricade planets in order to use their resources to make more money and stuff like that. So Star Wars is more realistic in terms of social, uh,
Hmm.
as far as the social side of it is concerned.
I don't think it's a dystopia because there's nothing that says that this world is bad or this world is not good,
Hmm.
which is what a dystopia is normally. It's showing the dark side of something, but Star Wars doesn't show that. It focuses
Star Wars
primarily
doesn't
on
only show the dark side; it also shows the
correct
bright side. Yeah,
right
yeah.
side. Yeah,
I suppose if you compare the Star Wars universe to ideas of white futurism, like, white men writing science fiction in the 70s, 60s to the 80s, they were
hmm,
imagining a future which would be like everyone is happy, hunger has disappeared, war has disappeared, and they were doing it from a position of extreme privilege, and they did not understand really what the source of the problem was, which was
correct.
they. They
Hmm.
were the problem. But yeah, hmm. Alien says the Watch is like the traditional sect which loves war and follows all that stuff. They branched off and went to live on the moon, and they were branded terrorists in the later pacifist Mandalore. I did not know about this lore. Did you?
The watch. No, I did not know about it either.
Okay, okay.
So the Mandalorian is basically a babysitter who's taking this kid across a galaxy until he
Yeah,
finds
yeah,
someone he can just hand him over to.
yeah. And that makes the story so much more interesting than, like, I find that people assemble a lot of characters, and halfway through the story they don't know what to do with them.
Right.
So they started small and they remained on that premise.
Small.
The
Yeah.
मतलब शुरू के एपिसोड में तुमको पता चल गया,
Uh,
grumpy stranger about to meet adorable baby,
uh,
and now he has to take care of adorable baby, and the
uh.
entire season is taken care of. You know where
Correct.
the
Two
story is going.
seasons. Two
Huh?
seasons. Yeah. Two
Did
seasons.
he give the baby to Luke
At the
Skywalker
end
at
of
the end of season 2 or 1?
two.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
What happened
So
at the end of season 1? Oh, he finds the baby's name.
no, that
That
also
also
is
happens
when
quite late.
yeah the female
They
tells
had
him.
that big explosion on that planet where the multiple attacks took place. That sort of thing happened at the end of season 1, or even that was
This
season 2.
the end of season one was basically the home of the Mandalore. I mean, or wherever he went, right at the beginning of episode one. That place gets free of the the whoever they are.
Ah, got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
one
and
planet,
this guy emerges holding the dark saber.
and the droid dies basically.
Which droid? Ah, the droid
The
sacrifices itself.
first droid,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Got it, got it.
which is nice.
Bo-Katan was in Rebels. Yes, yes. Star Wars
Acha,
Rebels. Yeah.
okay, I haven't watched
In
that.
yeah, so this is Boba Fett, but Ashwin has not seen it, so we shall not dwell on it too much. We also get to see the culture of the Tuscan Raiders. So I
Who are
think
the
one of the
Tusken
things that these series are doing is that they're kind of they're kind of like, you see one side of the thing. You see it from the perspective of Luke Skywalker, who's a human,
Hmm.
and you get to see a
Who's
home,
sort
a
of human,
family, yeah, who goes out and sees all this alien stuff, and you don't
right?
actually see much of the story told from the perspective of this alien stuff.
Hmm.
And in these series, you get to see that.
Right.
So that happens a lot. What did you think of Ahsoka in the series?
Uh, so I like that the first season was primarily focused only on him and the baby, and
Ah,
it was not almost nothing else. Whereas
okay.
the second season kind of branched off into Ahsoka and the other Katie Sackhoff, who came in as whoever the other
Hmm.
Boba was,
That
and
was Katie Sackhoff was Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, right?
Hmm.
And then that other guy who came in, Boba Fett. It basically tried to do a lot of uh, backdoor entries into new series,
Hmm.
which which worked for me. I
Hmm.
won't say it didn't work for me. It worked for me. I
Okay.
liked the episodes. I liked the series. I liked the whole show. But the fact that they tried to bring in all these things to open backdoor pilots into something else was kind of giving me a weird feeling. I didn't like
Wha-
it
So this weird feeling as a writer or as a fan?
as a fan, not as a
Okay.
writer. As a
So
writer, it made perfect sense to have all of these people
yeah, 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 yeah.
in the story.
Okay.
But yeah,
Hmm.
as a fan, it just felt like, oh, they're trying to bring in too much of the Star Wars universe into the Mandalore universe, which is okay in a way, but uh, I don't know.
Okay.
It didn't work for me, and it still worked for me. I really have no these things. I'm quite confused about the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, Ashwin just said that his all-time favorite Star Wars thing will be Mandalorian, I guess.
Huh? Yeah, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And second will be
I
Rogue One, I think. Yeah, Rogue One.
Rogue One. Rogue One
Yeah.
also. No, franchise as in Star Wars is one franchise.
Favorite
But I
character from
think
Rogue One? That
you saw this
whoever
recent animated thing that Disney did on Star Wars thing.
the
Like
Bad
every
Batch.
episode was a different story. No, no, not
No,
Batman. There is a thing
Bad
on
Batch.
Hotstar. What is it called, guys? Star Wars. What? Star Wars Visions. Have you seen it?
Visions. No, no.
Please watch it. It's very cool. It's animated. One
Huh.
is set in feudal Japan. One is set in a futuristic something. It's all happening in a Star Wars universe. So it's
Okay.
like Elseworlds. It's
Huh.
like Star Wars Elseworlds. Each
Oh.
animated episode is done by a well-known filmmaker.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So they gave
This
it
is
the prestige TV treatment.
this is
It's very
interesting.
nice. I think that would be my favorite. And Mandalorian, and then that.
Acha.
Visions. Yes, the anime. It is an anime.
Acha. Okay. Nice.
Now, this is Star Wars could be today, not good or bad, but full of hope or despair. Depends on how one looks at it. Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Star Wars. Yeah.
Star. I think some Star Trek films have tried to deal with the matter of despair. Like when Star Wars becomes popular, I suppose some TV executive must have said, "Rebels, rebels, we need rebellion," and then they come up with that thing. What Star Trek Insurrection, where Data gets shot and malfunctions and starts protecting villagers from Federation surveillance. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I don't remember this.
Yeah, you must have seen it.
I
It's
I
great.
did.
It's great. It's
I know
great.
I've seen
I
it.
liked it.
Huh.
I'm sure you must have seen it. You must have
I
forgotten.
have.
How can you not see such a great film?
I've seen everything the next generation. So I have
So
watched this
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
I just don't know which one you're talking about. I watched this when I was in the 10th standard or something, which is
Star
almost
Wars.
20
Yeah,
years
me
ago.
too. Me too. I
Not
saw
Star
Star
Wars,
Wars. The first time I
Star
saw
Trek.
Star Wars was on Star Movies.
Star Wars I saw when I was in school, second standard or something.
Yeah, we've been
First
through that.
standard.
You had a very privileged childhood as far as all this
Ah.
is concerned, and I got to see Star Wars when I was in I was going to college.
Yeah, I watched it when I was a kid. I remember the first movie I watched was Return of the Jedi, which is
Okay.
part three of the series.
Hmm.
And I remember that first scene where he throws the lightsaber up and catches it and all of that. It was quite
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Which was the one where he throws the lightsaber up and ha. I remember. That's how I think this is what Aliens is talking about. Leia strangled Jabba with the chains he used to enslave her. So
That's
now
right.
I remember how Jabba died. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died in that same movie, the third movie.
Okay. Boba kills Bib Fortuna to take over Jabba's throne. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Acha.
For some reason, I kept thinking that it was Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba.
Sorry. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Jabba died
Mm.
quite early on. So this is set just after the original Star Wars movies, which is the three that we watched earlier, and
Hmm.
before the three that came out later this year,
Hmm.
few years back.
Okay. Samad says he asked favorite character. Who's your favorite character? Let's just
Mine
start
is
with favorite character in Mandalorian.
Mandalore, Rian.
Mandalorian, acha.
Yeah, yeah.
I suppose mine would be
Next is Jin Erso from the whatever the Rogue
got it.
Rogue One.
But I haven't seen
Rogue-
Jyn Erso's stuff much. I haven't seen
That's
Clone
the
Wars
only
in its
one.
entirety.
I
No,
haven't
he's
seen.
in another one.
No,
He's in
Jin Erso is this female who dies in Rogue One.
oh,
Jin
okay. So
Erso is
who
the
am I
lead.
talking about? Yeah, but there's like two old people trying to remember stuff. And we are supposed to
अरे
be
लेकिन
nerds and like
हाँ.
कौन लूक किसकी माँ का नाम था? I think I really like Ahsoka in The Mandalorian.
अच्छा,
And
you liked her.
yeah,
Okay,
huh?
you
Ahsoka,
liked
yeah.
her.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You didn't?
I did. There was not
Why?
much to go on. She was just a good Jedi. That's it.
Huh,
Nothing
so
else.
As in Mandalore, the Mandalorian character is easy to like because he's you don't
Huh.
see his face, he's mysterious, there's some struggle, there's a responsibility that he's not ready for.
Correct.
It's a proper recipe. You can, like, just by looking at the list of ingredients, you can kind of taste the thing. So it's there. But Ahsoka I liked because, yeah, she's a good Jedi, and it's Star Wars. I don't need to go into character details. I liked her. Okay, I don't need to justify. I don't owe you answers. Like, stop asking me about PM cares and where that money went.
I
Alien
like
says I
Ahsoka.
like Ahsoka in the Clone Wars and Rebels. The
Acha, she
only
was
Star
right
Trek I've
about
seen is the Pic. Oh my god, who you did not
Picard
just
show.
say that? The only Star Trek I've seen is Picard. Please go back and watch the original series, then the Next Generation, then DS9, then Voyager, and then you are a Star Trek watcher, not even a fan. I don't care if you like it or not, but don't say the only thing you have seen is Picard because
Picard doesn't
please
even count
no,
as Star Trek.
don't do this. What?
Picard doesn't even count as Star Trek.
Yeah, Picard is weird. I have no interest in watching the second season after for the first season. I still will watch it, obviously, because that's
I
the
watched the
burden of being a fan.
I watched the
What?
first three episodes of season one of Picard, and then I didn't care much about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
was
interesting.
it was very hard to care for. Like, they
Ah,
messed up so much stuff. They tried to, like, it was fan service overload.
acha.
Like, I would have preferred it if, like, even the general Star Trek thing where it is going right now,
Hmm.
uh, they're afraid to go into the actual future, right? The even the animated comedy thing that is happening, what, Lower Decks, which is nice, by the way.
Ah,
Have you seen Lower
okay.
Decks?
No, I haven't. I watched one or two episodes and I liked it. I kept
Okay.
it in my to watch later, but never kept it.
Yeah, it's not something you die to
Hmm.
watch, but you
Right.
don't mind it. But even that story is set as a contemporary to in the 24th century, like Picard and all are there,
Hmm.
but they are not going beyond that. Like, the original series happened, then 200 years passed, the next one happened. After that,
Ah,
Voyager DS9 happens, then only Voyager happens, then only, and they're not going further than that. I would
correct.
love for Star Trek to go really far into the future, which these guys did actually. What was that thing with Michael Burnham in it?
Michael Burnham. Who's Michael
हाँ, is
Burnham?
it Michael Burnham is the character's name. पिकार्ड से
What?
ठीक पहले क्या आया था? पिकार्ड से ठीक
Acha,
पहले आया था
the
डिस्कवरी
very
डिस्कवरी
old one.
No, no,
Ah,
Discovery.
okay,
This
okay.
new Discovery
Right,
one.
right, right,
So
right.
they kind of did a messy couple of seasons, and the third season they fast forwarded to the far future, like when the Federation itself has dissolved, and that's where it is all happening. But
Oh.
and that's what I have been hoping for. But after they did it, I started wishing they hadn't. Because it became Picard का second season. It became like, oh, fan service, fan service. पता है ये क्या था? ये क्या था पता है?
वो
हाँ, ये वो
है.
चीज़ था जो तुमने ओरिजिनल सीरीज में देखा था. मैं कुछ नया करो प्लीज. That's where I am.
Uh, so they've come out with a new animated series. I don't know why we're talking about Star Trek, but they've come out with a
It's a
new animated
podcast.
series.
It's okay. You can go anywhere.
They've come out with a new animated series for Star Trek, which has
Hmm.
only one recurring character, which is Janeway, I think.
हाँ, yeah,
Captain
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Janeway.
yeah. So
And the
Janeway
rest
is
are
a
all.
hologram in this. Janeway is a hologram in it.
Is she? No,
Yeah.
she
So
looks
there are a
normal.
bunch of alien characters.
Huh.
They get put in charge of a starship. They don't know
Right.
how to do anything, and Janeway is the
Huh.
onboard hologram. She teaches them.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Or so I think. That's what I have picked up from what I've read.
Okay. So there's that. That should be interesting because it's an animated series. So.
Hmm. By the way, this thing that Ashwin just said, where he said, "Why are we talking about Star Trek?" This happens all the time. Like Gutter Space, the original podcast that started, I said, "Let's just wing it. Let's just start and talk about whatever comes to mind." And Ashwin is like, "No, we need order and structure and notes,
Which
and
is what
that's
we
why
need
it
for
keeps
this.
it halts every once in a while." So now we are thinking that maybe we will do it on a. So again, I ask you again, these conversations, should we do them on a separate channel for Gutter Space, or do you want to continue seeing them happen here? Either way, we'll do it.
Hmm.
Manobendra says if anyone hasn't seen Clone Wars animation or Rebels, they find it very hard to realize the impact of Ahsoka. So I
Right.
saw all that after Mandalorian.
Acha.
So yeah,
I I don't think I've still watched what it is. I
like
haven't watched
Gunduchi,
Clone
my
Wars or
nephew told me to go watch it. That's why.
Acha. yeah.
Say that is another aspect in which I'm old. I'm a nerd, and my nephew tells me you should watch Star Trek. What? Star Trek? Okay. And then I watch it and forget everything. By
Yeah.
the way, Ashwin, you
Huh.
we spoke about something that you were writing, right?
Hmm.
That something that is reminiscent of a comic book series that used to come out in the 90s.
Huh. Right.
What was
So
it?
I wrote a detective story
Do you
called.
have any artwork for it that you can share?
No, there's nothing done. I've just written the script about a year ago, and
Acha.
the artwork is just about to start. It's like going to start in a few days. But I
Okay,
think,
so there was a cover thing that I saw on Facebook. Let me
yeah,
see if I can find it. But you keep
the
talking
cover
about it.
should be there. So the cover should be there. It's about two brothers who are adopted by a father, and they're from different religions. One is a Hindu
Okay.
and one is a Muslim, and they go around investigating different mysteries. They have a detective office, and then they are approached by people, and they go around investigating different things. And they're basically in the past. It's an 80s. Yeah, this one.
It's called Raj Rahman. So if you
Correct.
guys don't know what that is a reference to, there used to be a hit comic book series called Rajan Iqbal. And
Rajan.
Rajan Iqbal was basically two guys, one Hindu, one
Uh,
Muslim, solving crimes. And I
correct.
actually shared some covers a few days ago about of Rajan Iqbal, where uh, because I was like, we had characters dealing with real world problems and stuff back in the 90s. Now
Uh,
everyone is worshipping some kind of Baba. Like Nagraj used to be, he used to travel the world
huh,
and fight terrorism. Now
huh.
he's sitting and worshipping a shivling. Super Kabato Dhruv used to be a science oriented stuff, and now even his villains are magical. So we have seen this transition to, like, the journey from the 90s to now has been quite painful if you like stuff like Rajan Iqbal. But Raj Rahman seems to be something that might bring it back. Huh, you were talking about this series. Bolo.
No, that's it basically. They are
Oh,
supposed to go
okay.
and investigate a case that happens, a murder mystery that happens, and maybe there are ghosts involved, and maybe there aren't ghosts involved.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So, acha. So this is still like a horror thing.
yeah.
Okay. Trust
I
you
don't
to
want to
turn
say
everything
much.
into भूत नहीं है तो अश्विन का काम नहीं चलता. हर चीज में भूत चाहिए.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
Oh no, Diamond Number.
Right.
Diamond Number says Star Trek is cheesy and so cliche. You did. मैं तेरे को बैन करने वाला हूँ इस चैनल से. मतलब अगले हफ्ते बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग गेस्ट वेस्ट आ रहे हैं, तुझे कुछ ही देखने को नहीं मिलेगा.
Uh,
Alien says Clone Wars and Rebels feel like they were both started off with the intention of being a kids show and then evolved into something much darker and richer. Maybe that's the intent. Like they start off being non-threatening,
correct.
and then it
They
becomes
want to go
something
there.
that people will, oh, I did not know it was going to go in that direction. Maybe they do it deliberately. Maybe.
Could be. Yeah.
Hmm. Right.
Yep.
So Mandalorian का और क्या था that you
और कुछ नहीं कहा. That's all I
और
have.
कुछ नहीं अच्छा हो गया हमारा.
हाँ,
We were
कुछ
in the
नहीं.
beginning of this podcast. We were saying, see, I saw Mandalorian 1 year ago. Ashwin saw it just now, and in any case, we
No, no,
neither
no.
of us remember much because we are old men. So this podcast might as well end up being for like 2 minutes long. Two old people trying to remember stuff and then saying, fuck it, and then going away.
Which is what happened mostly.
We have not gone away yet. We are here. We haven't gone anywhere yet.
Still
But
talking.
Mandalorian ka, I think one of another thing that these guys are doing with these things is that they're like, there is an episode in Boba Fett which you will see. I'm not
Hmm.
giving details, but it's pure spaceship porn. It's
Hmm.
pure spaceship porn. Like there is, they go into the details of how the spaceship is built, the process of making it. There are montages of them tightening screws and painting stuff, and
Huh.
that's the kind of stuff that a lot of people like when it comes to, like, people. If someone is a toy aficionado or something, they will really
Huh.
like it. So what I loved in not Mandalorian,
Huh.
is that they paid a lot of attention to the making of the armors, the nature of the
Correct.
metal. The metal was even a plot device. Like it is the
Correct.
one thing that can stand
Huh.
before a lightsaber and stuff like that.
Bastard. Huh.
So that I really liked. Who was the character who Ahsoka fought towards the end?
One of the people on the planet.
Yeah, that's the old people answer I was going for.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this distraction? Who's excited for Amazon's Lord of the Rings series?
That's going to come later this year, I think.
Ha,
I
I saw the trailer.
today
Something.
today I saw the trailer.
Acha,
Just today.
acha. Did it have words in it? Because the one I saw did not have any words in it. It was
No,
just
no. Yeah,
no
just
words, right?
fighting. Like,
Okay.
or did I see a coming soon kind of thing? I don't remember, but I saw something about it on video.
Hmm. Yashmin says, "Have you watched Ridley Scott's Raised by Wolves?" I don't think so. Manish sir had recommended it some time ago, but I haven't seen it. What
That's
was it exactly? Hold on.
Raised by Wolves or Raises by Wolves.
No, Raised by Wolves. Raised by Wolves TV series. It's hold on. Yeah. Raised by Wolves season 2. अच्छा ये HBO Max पे आ रहा है नहीं मैंने नहीं देखा मेरे पास नहीं है.
अच्छा.
Raised by Wolves can also be the title of a thing where there is a parliament and a lot of people ask a lot of questions but a certain number of seats in the parliament are reserved for wolves and these are the questions that are raised by wolves. मेरे जोक पे कोई नहीं हंसेगा तो मैं खुद हंसूंगा.
ऐसा ही है.
Yashmin says Sandman का भी live action adaptation आ रहा हाँ. So I
Yeah,
have a reason to believe that that will actually be good because Neil Gaiman is involved with it himself.
correct. That's also later
Yeah,
this year, I think.
later this year. I'm actually not watching a lot of stuff. People have been recommending uh, Minal Murali, which is an Indian superhero movie, but I
Ah,
haven't seen it yet.
correct.
Have you?
No.
I actually haven't even seen the Indian superhero movie that you wanted me to watch, which was Bhavesh Joshi.
Bhavesh
Uh,
Joshi, yes.
yeah. So I
That
think
was super.
one of these days I'll sit down and watch both of them. Don't spoil it.
If you watch Bhavesh Joshi, we can get together and talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about Bhavesh. Acha, theek hai, let's do one thing. I'll watch both Bhavesh Joshi and Minal Murli. You watch Minal Murli, and then let's
हाँ,
talk about all this
ठीक है.
and our work and everything. थोड़ा खुद का
हाँ,
promotion भी हो जाएगा.
चलेगा.
Alien says, even a universe where droids still has slavery, is that realistic? Even the most inhuman capitalist would realize it's cheaper to use droids, right? Yeah, but
You have to
droids
make the
are
droids, right?
slaves.
Yeah,
Droids
you
are
have to
slaves,
make the
right?
droids. You have to
You have to
make them.
make
You
the
have to
droids,
build
but
them.
droids like Star. I don't know if George Lucas originally wanted like Star Wars has some problematic themes, obviously, but in recent films they have also shown that droids are conscious, able to make decisions, have loyalty, etc. So beings with that level of consciousness, if you make them for
Make
specific
it work.
purpose or you don't let them do their own thing, I think Star Wars universe में slavery इसलिए है क्योंकि uh, they want to show it as a place where oppression exists. However, the thing that I would really like to see is if uh, if there is ever a Star Wars story, because I have not read any Star Wars novels. Is there ever a story where droids rebel? Because that would be the actual thing. Humans rebelling against humans who want to take away resources is one thing, but even the people who are rebelling have slaves. Then it kind of bumps me out.
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's a thing in Star Wars where droids rebel against people.
Hmm.
But I know
Because
there's a Star
slavery.
Wars. I know there's a Star Wars book which has zombies.
What?
Yeah.
Did the zombies rebel?
No, the zombies just kept eating other people.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Zombies
called
are
Dead Trooper or something. It's basically stormtroopers stuck in a ship, and there are
oh, okay,
all
okay.
these zombies. I have that book somewhere. I don't know
It
where
may
it is.
just have been a ruse to to sell toys from some other franchise or
Nothing,
some
nothing.
other movie.
It wasn't well received. It wasn't this thing. It's just a small thing that was done, but it was quite nice.
Someone says Milan Murli is better than Bhavesh Joshi.
Let's
Okay, we shall
let's
see. We
let's
shall
not
see.
let's not let's not.
That's another
Bhavesh Joshi hai the.
old uncle thing. Peacemaker is extremely silly humor, R-rated Deadpool stuff. It's bonkers. I haven't seen it yet. I
I
saw
haven't seen.
Suicide Squad though, and I liked it.
It was nice.
Yeah, I figured you will also like it. It's completely up your alley.
Yeah.
Milner Murli has much better layered characters. In fact, a lot of MCU's villains' problems can be solved if they watch Milner Murli. Vimo, are you a fan of historical movies, Gladiator, 300, Troy, etc.? Sure. I'm not specifically someone who is excited about these movies, but if something gets played in front of me, I watch it.
I
If
like
my eyes are
300.
open.
I like Troy
What?
also. I like 300 and I like Troy.
Okay.
But
Troy I really liked. Troy I really liked. 300 not so much. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't mind historical films. Alien says there was one short story where Luke frees enslaved droids, I think.
oh,
Yeah. Like a story in
nice.
the movies or in a
Books,
separate book
books.
or something.
It has to be books. I don't think there is a movie that's dedicated to that. Actually, it could be a comic also. You never know.
Yeah. No, because what
And
I remember from the original movie is that these droids were being sent to be sent to work somewhere. Luke comes along and he buys them off. But here's
huh,
the thing: if you like the best thing to happen to a slave will be being freed, not being
huh.
bought by a nice master, because that's still slavery, right?
Right.
So, Ashwin, you saw Dune, kya?
Dune.
Hmm?
I saw Dune, the movie,
Nah,
right? With
Dune. हाँ हाँ, yeah, अभी जो आया था.
I didn't like it much. It was very slow. It was
Yeah,
pacing was very
it was
weird.
like Blade Runner 2050, right?
I
2049.
haven't watched Blade Runner.
So I like slow science fiction movies. Not
Huh.
always, but these two I really liked.
You like Dune?
I like Dune. Yeah.
Acha. I didn't like it much.
Why? Because it was slow.
It was slow, but I don't think that was essentially the problem. There was nothing happening in the book. I mean, in the movie.
Acha.
It kind of just felt like people are going and doing things and stuff like that, just for the heck of it. I mean, there
That's
wasn't
what
any
people do. They go and do things.
just for the heck of it. No, I don't think so.
Alien says there was also one where C3PO led a droid rebellion against Bunda the Hutt. What? Where? Please give
Nice.
references also. Like, where can I find this? C3PO rebel. Let me see if I can find this. C3PO rebel.
C3PO seems like such a lame droid to do anything.
Maybe he got reprogrammed for that
For the
specific thing.
rebellion.
Oh yeah, here it is. Hold on, I'll show you.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah. So it says here that after meeting Skywalker's son Luke and the smuggler Han Solo, the droids helped rescue Princess Leia from the Empire. Ad. कहाँ गया? The droids helped rescue Princess Leia from the Empire's Death Star and became directly attached to the three humans, helping them and their rebellion defeat the Empire and restore freedom to the galaxy. Bunda. Let me search for Bunda. Okay. C3PO and R2D2 later went with a police droid named Unit Z, blah, 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 blah. The replacement leg that he got actually contained secret programming that overrode his regular personality. The new C3PO led droid rebellion against Bunda the Hutt. However, his original programming was later restored when R2D2 replaced his leg. After that, the two droids were owned by an Ethorian botanist. Acha, वगैरह वगैरह. But yeah, but this is interesting. Where can I find
Yeah,
more about
good
this? What?
that he got reprogrammed and then did something else.
Yeah, it's really weird that programming in his leg replaced his main programming. What is this? Like this
It's okay,
is
right?
was a science fantasy, I guess.
Science
If this
fiction
if
opinion.
this had been Star Trek, somebody would have given an explanation about it. Like LaForge would have spent half an hour saying, "Captain, so the this contradicts with the that, and this overrode that, and something would have been there." Only in Star Wars can a leg replace main programming.
Right.
Emotionally charged scenes in movies and series are super cheesy. It's overblown. That may actually say more about you, Diamond Amar, than about the film. I am unable to feel emotions. Why is this film so bad? Arrival. You liked Arrival, kya?
I liked Arrival, but mostly because I like the book also,
Okay. It's a
or
short
the
story.
whatever. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It appears that we are at 45-minute mark. Do you want to continue talking about something or should we?
For 10 seconds we can, so it goes up to
What
45
10
minutes.
seconds? Yeah, but again, thank you everyone for joining. I think I'll just tell people, hey, Ashwin wala kahan gaya? नहीं, अश्विन वाला मैंने हटा दिया है. Let me just
Ashwin wala.
नहीं, the banner that I show.
अच्छा.
So if you want to learn more about Ashwin's work, you can do so at ashwinkalmane.com.
Oh,
And that's where you'll find details about all the comics he has written and sometimes some other stuff that he has done. And if you want to listen to my main podcast, you can do so at vimo.in. And many of the podcast episodes are actually audio versions of the live streams here, but there is much original content also, including some Hindi episodes. So, with that, we reached the end of today's live stream. We intended to talk about Star Wars. Our topic changed to Mandalorian, then it changed to Star Trek, and it kept changing until we right now. If you ask me what was this live stream about, I cannot tell you.
yeah.
Hmm. Right.
All right.
So, Ashwin, ये तय रहा कि the next
Hmm.
time we talk, you
Hmm.
will have watched Minal Murli. I will have
Correct.
watched Bhavesh Joshi and Minal Murli, and we will have
Correct.
a talk about Indian superhero movies with these two as the basis. Cool.
Hmm.
Everyone who has not subscribed to the channel, please do. And I will see you on आज है क्या? Today is Saturday. I'll see you on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Cool?
Bye.
Cool. Bye bye.
Bye.